In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 Easter eggs from New World that maybe you didn't know. If you want to help me grow the channel, becoming a YouTube member is the best way. Otherwise, consider giving me a follow over on Twitch. And the first one we're going to talk about is farting. Now, I personally only just learned about this in the Forged in Eternum sound update, but it is quite amusing and I have tested it myself now. Essentially, when you use the Flex emote, which is one of the default emotes, I believe, it has a 1 in 100 chance of doing a fart sound. Now, if you try this, there's little like leathery sounds on every single one when you flex, sort of like your clothes moving, or at least there was when I was doing this, but the fart sound is quite unmistakable. Let's have a listen. They say it's 1 in 100, but I have to say I got it twice in probably about 50 goes. Either way, nice little funny thing. You're showing off, you fart, lols. Can't believe I just said lols, but there you have it. The next one is one that people have seen quite a few times, and that is the ghost ship. Now, I don't really know if there's too much lore or story about this, but in certain locations, you look across the water and you will see a ghost ship. Now, I was trying to film this myself. I waited quite a few hours by the water. I managed to see it, only to discover I wasn't recording. So I'm just going to borrow somebody else's footage online. I'll leave a link to their video if you want to see it from them. There have been some people who've looked into this, and the theory is that it is a well-known ship called the Flying Dutchman, and there's a couple of lore notes that sort of explain this. One theory is that it's a ship that tried to sail away from Eternum and then never actually made it back fully. Either way, stumbling upon this is quite a spooky but interesting sight, and I really wish there was more things like this just in game, because it's sort of fun to see. The next one is one that I've spoken about on this channel before, and that is the Ebonscale boss. That is like a secret hidden boss. Now, I know that with Brimstone Sands, there's quite a few bosses that either spawn at specific times of day, or maybe there's a boss where you have to go and press this like glyph rune thing and then the boss spawns. But this one in Ebonscale is actually a little bit more complex than that. Here in Ebonscale Reach, there's effectively this type of enemy. You have to kill them all in a specific order, and then you will spawn a lady called Serenity Maiden Lou. I don't know if there's a big story around this. It's not something I've ever necessarily researched into, but I really like the way that she is discovered. It's not something you're going to accidentally stumble upon very easily. You kill one type of enemy, then another one spawns in a different area, you then go and kill it, and you have to do that for the whole chain, and then she spawns. She doesn't necessarily drop anything amazing at this point, but it was very interesting nonetheless. And the next Easter egg is also relating to sound. Now, this isn't one that I've actually been able to independently verify, but it does come from the Forged in Eternum sound design update. Apparently, in some kind of sound wave or spectrum of sound, there is actually text written in that, and they do show an example on the footage, but unfortunately this is not something that I've seen independently verified from anybody else on the internet, and I personally don't have the means to test that. However, this is an open call out. If you have the technology and you have the capability and you know what you're doing and you have the time, please go and see if you can find any of these. I would be very intrigued to see what they actually say. One little extra tidbit that they gave in that Forged in Eternum is that apparently one of the rapier sounds has been removed because it sounded like a fart. Obviously not the fart sound that they used whilst you were flexing. Big flex. The next one feels a little bit weird calling it an Easter egg because it's truly not. It is actually a memorial from one of the developers to their late wife, and I have to say it is quite touching and moving. Just between Eden Grove and Morningdale, just on the border, there's a little shrine right near the water's edge, and you can walk over to it and you'll notice a couple of things immediately. The audio changes, there's a little text note that you can read, and everything sort of becomes a little bit more serene and a little bit eerie in a way. In the background in the audio you can hear, like, I'm presuming the kids laughing and maybe the wife laughing, and yeah, it is actually really truly moving. The developer's name I believe is called Sean, and this is a memorial to his wife Laura, and the place is called Laura Shrine. But yeah, I would encourage that if you're passing by, maybe go and have a sit down and take a minute to just value what you have, and let's all try and be as happy as we can be. So yeah, the sort of 5 Easter eggs, barring the last one which I'm not calling an Easter egg, that maybe you didn't know about, maybe you did, but I thought I'd showcase them off in this video. Let me know if you found any others, and if you want to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is the best way, or you can come and give me a little follow on Twitch. I stream very occasionally. What you should definitely do though is have a most beautiful day, like and subscribe. Goodbye.